Chapter 9. Now, the Israelites are going to be keeping the Passover right before they depart from Mount Sinai. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the second year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at this appointed season. Now take note right here of the time that they do this, the first month of the second year. The book of Numbers itself begins with the second month of the second year. Therefore, these events that we're being told about occurred before the beginning events of the book of Numbers itself. And what we have seen in the book of Numbers up until this point is all of these events that happen pretty quickly, relatively quickly, just within a matter of a few days or so. And it's the counting of the army, assembling, getting all the camps ready, and telling them about the formations and setting up the banners. All of this is getting ready. We're about to leave Sinai to go to the promised land. And this Passover would be one of the final events before the Israelites left Sinai, just as it was before they left Egypt. It is even recorded here in chapter 9, just before their departure in chapter 10. And I do believe that it's no coincidence whatsoever, my friends, that the Passover, even though it began before, even though these events happened before those that we've already went over in the book of Numbers, this Passover was so significant that it is the final thing told about before they depart. Verse 3, In the 14th day of this month at evening, ye shall keep it in his appointed season. According to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof, ye shall keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. Now there were certain factors regarding this Passover that would be different from the original in Egypt. It was not possible, for example, to strike the blood of the lamb upon the lintel and the side posts of the doors, because in the wilderness they had no doors. So it's believed that they just did this on their tents. They kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at evening in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men among this vast multitude who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day, and those men said unto him, We are defiled by the dead body of a man, wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering unto the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. Uncleanness prevented any share in a sacrificial feast on pain of death. And contact with a dead body was a source of uncleanness. So these men, they could not participate. But there's a consequence if they don't participate. If they do not participate in the Passover, then they're cut off. And if they keep it being unclean, then they're cut off as well. But the Lord speaks unto Moses about this issue. And Moses said unto them, Stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you, or of your posterity, of your children, shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. And this was taken for an umbrella term as well as to be exhaustive, meaning that this would carry on. Because the Lord said it about the Passover, he's the one that makes the rules. So they're seeing this as something that would carry on. Unclean or on a journey, meaning afar off and can't keep it. Under these two circumstances, the Hebrews think that other hindrances of like nature are comprehended, as if one be hindered by a disease, let's say, or by any other such kind of uncleanness, which may seem probable both from the nature of the thing and the reason of the law, which is the same in other cases. There are many things outside of our control that the Lord, I do not believe, holds one guilty for. If it's outside of your control, then. And this is much with the Nazarite, the leniency shown unto the Nazarite if someone dies around them. Well, then all they have to do is come back, start all over, make a sacrifice, and then the vow is renewed. The Lord will not come and get you, because the Lord, he takes all these things into consideration far more than we do. The 14th day of the second month, not the first month, but the second month, they're allowed to keep it. So a month later, at evening they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. Now, I do believe that this is what is referred to as the little Passover, that of which has to occur the month after. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, though, the later Jews held that this Passover, the second one, if you will, need only be kept for one day, and that leaven need not be put away from the house. But this was a clear departure from the original rule, for it was evidently intended that it should be in all respects a true Passover, and in this case 6 clear days were allowed for the keeping of it. But the man that is clean and is not on a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover, if someone hasn't got any of these issues, and they don't keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. So important is the keeping of the Passover that this cutoff is not just cut off from the community, but by divine agency, according to the commentators. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. Now, of course, by stranger here, we're talking about one who was not an Israelite, but who permanently, or for a considerable period, put himself under Israelite protection and became a member of the community. He was sharply distinguished from that of a foreigner, who was making only a temporary stay in the country. The latter, the foreigner, was forbidden to eat the Passover. Verse 15, and on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony. And at evening there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire until the morning. So it was always, the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. So it was always, that we're told. This supernatural phenomenon was not transitory for a limited time, like the glory cloud within the tabernacle, but permanent, as long at least as the Israelites were in the wilderness. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents. Verse 18, at the commandment of the Lord the children of Israel journeyed. And at the commandment of the Lord they pitched. As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord, they abode in their tents, and according to the commandment of the Lord they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud abode from evening unto the morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed. Whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. Meaning that it could be in the dead of night. It could be at one, and they probably had people watching it all the time, by day or by night. It is obvious from this verse that there must have been sentinels constantly watching by night as well as by day, whose office it was to give notice when the cloud was removed. Or whether it were 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents and journeyed not. But when it was taken up, they journeyed. Now this is just a general statement, more of an idiom, whether it was 2 days or a month or a year, simply denoting that however long that the Lord remained like that, so would they stay. At the commandment of the Lord they rested in the tents, and at the commandment of the Lord they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord, at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses.